Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Triboro Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Alonso. We have the post-mortem of the Yankees playoff run because we will do a much deeper dive into the Yankee season as a whole when we can actually look at it rationally and without the angriness of this happening 18 hours ago. Because schedules permitting, if we would have recorded this yesterday at 10 o'clock, I may
episode.
not be able to get job interviews with some of the stuff I would say. I would get blacklisted from certain job interviews. Let me just say that now. But the Yankees lose. They eliminated by the Blue Jays. If you live under a fucking rock, they shut the fuck up. Mets did not make the playoffs.
Don't care.
The Game 3, you had that insanely clutch hit by Judge. Then Game 4 was just a shit show. Getting into Game 3, Carlos Rodon. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, so I'm not going to go by it because it doesn't matter. I think it was it was either 2 1/3 or 2 2/3, 6 runs.
Too long.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Bad. Dog shit. Did not have it. Could not find the zone. When he found the zone, it was hit. Even when he didn't find the zone, it was hit. And just a bad outing from him. Cannot emphasize how bad it was. But then, fast forward to the bottom of the 4th inning, Aaron Judge, 2 men on. You think, oh boy, here we go again. Here's the strikeout. Here's the water. What the fuck?
Oh my god, that stayed fair.
That,
and oh my god, he hit that pitch. Which was like, what, 6 inches off the plate?
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 baseballs off the plate.
Yeah.
And
inside.
That was the only pitch. That was the only inside fastball of 99 miles an hour or faster to be hit for a home run. I think Ken Rosenthal said there were 530 of those thrown in baseball, and that was the only one that was 99 or faster. Let's be generous to Judge and round it up to 100 because it was 99.7 of
Sure.
99 or faster inside to be hit for a home run. And that one was also a good 6 feet inside, a good half a foot inside. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how that's hit for a home run. And everyone's going to say, oh, I saw someone make the argument that was bad process, good results. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to swing at a fastball, 6 inches inside.
But he clearly read it right.
Yeah, exactly. If you read it right, you read it right.
Like, that's another... Me and my dad were talking about it, too, and he brought up a good point that you don't say that about when guys golf a ball out of the dirt for a home run.
I was just going to say that.
So
I
it's
feel like Stanton does that.
Yeah,
like,
so
if he hits one, like, at his shins into the line drive over the wall.
So why are we going to say that about that home run?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I agree.
I truly thought that after that home run, this was going back to Toronto. There was no doubt in my mind that this was going back to Toronto after that. I mean, wouldn't you?
Boy. Oh, yeah. I mean,
in
as
my
a
situation,
baseball fan, yeah. Like, when the Mets...
Forget as a baseball fan. As a biased Yankee fan. Would there be any doubt in your... Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it? Game 5 last year, the NLCS. The Mets won the game against Jack Flaherty and the Dodgers at Citi Field. I'm like, all right, we're going back to LA. You just got to win 2 more.
I'm not even saying
like,
winning.
Okay.
I'm not even saying winning this series. I'm just saying going back when you have a bullpen game versus Cam Schlittler the next day.
Yeah.
But that Jazz ended up hitting the home run the next inning off of, I believe it was still Varland, to get in the lead. Ended up tacking on a couple other runs. One move I just want to mention, because I think this kind of encapsulates the entire Yankees season and the entire Yankees playoff run, is it was either the 7th or 8th inning. Ben Rice was up with 1 out, 2nd and 3rd, with a lefty on the mound. And they decided to leave in Ben Rice, which I said, like, why are we not pinch hitting Paul Goldschmidt here? Like, this legitimately feels like the perfect time to pinch hit Paul Goldschmidt. For whatever reason, they did not pinch hit Paul Goldschmidt. Ben Rice ended up getting a sac fly, run scored. Can't guarantee a run scores if Paul Goldschmidt's up. Whatever. happened.
Yada yada.
But then Paul Goldschmidt came in for defense the next half inning. That made no sense. And I know it's a minor thing, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I think that perfectly explains what this Yankees playoff run felt like.
Mm.
So much just not too little too late, but just things not feeling connected.
A lot of just what?
Yeah, a lot of just weird decisions. And I'm trying to. I really. Will this let me? Okay. But again, just a lot of weird decisions like that. And then fast forward into game 4, and you had Cam Schlittler versus the bullpen game. And before we say anything, Cam Schlittler went 6 2/3 innings, or 6 1/3 innings. I think it was like 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 runs overall, and 2 strikeouts, no walks. I got into an argument today with someone saying that he was saying that Cam Schlittler sucked because he only had 2 strikeouts.
Cam Schlittler had the best pitching performance of this. He has the 2 best pitching performances of this entire playoff run.
This guy was not a Yankees fan.
Yeah, that's stupid. And also, why is strikeouts like the barometer?
Yeah. I literally said strikeouts are cool, and I love strikeouts, but he got outs.
Yeah, who gives a fuck how you get them?
Like, at the end of the day, and just speaking on Schlittler too, I feel so bad for him that he's going to have 4 runs tacked onto his. I know only 2 were earned. He pitched his fucking balls off. This start said to me, and this may sound crazy, this start impressed me more to an extent than the start against Boston. Because he was down 2 or 3 miles an hour. He was really sitting like that 97-ish instead of sitting 100. He wasn't striking guys out, which is what he's done his entire life. He was getting hit a decent amount. He was able to buckle down with runners in scoring position when he's only throwing fastballs. I think he threw maybe 10 curveballs. Only throwing fastballs in a do-or-die game for the Yankees against a very good offense. And realistically should have gone 7 innings, 2 runs.
Yeah.
That says a lot to me about a guy's ability just to grind through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not saying that this start was more impressive, but kind of the mentality to me was more impressive. Because he didn't have it, clearly. He was down a couple miles an hour. Wasn't hitting exact spots. And obviously, there was one pitch where he kind of got like the benefit of the doubt with a call. Everything else was like called tight. So it's also a thing of you're not getting pitches that may be called another day. And again, I'm not saying that the umpire did a bad job. If anything, I think the umpire did a great job. And I'm just saying he didn't get the benefit of bad calls either. So it's one of those things of nothing is going your way. The offense is not scoring on the other side. So he has to keep it locked down the entire time. I think he had a really damn good start.
He did. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is now 2 elimination games he started this playoff series, and he delivered.
Yeah.
He himself delivered. Obviously, the 2 earned runs, the 4 runs is not entirely his fault. Two earned runs you take every day of the week. That's more than he asked for. The fact that he got into the 7th inning is more than he can ask for.
Yeah. And I will say on the play, because what we're alluding to is how Jazz kind of got like eaten up by a ball.
Yeah.
I will say, not a routine play, not an easy play, but for the caliber of defender that Jazz is in that moment, knowing that I believe it was Jimenez with the bat, so George Springer's on deck. Knowing all of that, you have to make that fucking play. At the very least, you have to get the lead runner. At the very least, you have to get one out there. Yeah. I don't want to say that's inexcusable because it wasn't an easy play, but like that's the difference between winning and losing.
I will say I think the inexcusable part is not keeping it in front of you.
Yeah.
I think you said at the very least getting out. I think at the very least he had to keep it in front of him.
It's only one runner is going. Yeah.
Right. You could not let that ball trickle into the outfield like it did.
Yeah.
If that stays on the infield, things change.
Yeah. You pitch to him differently and all of
Right.
that. I will also say, Devin Williams came in and he got out Springer, I forget how. And then he gets Nathan Lukes hits a ball that was 3 balls on top of the zone and just slaps it the other way and gets a hit. And it sucks because obviously the result was that was a good pitch. Like, I'm sorry. It's like the Varland pitch to Judge. That was a good pitch. It just got hit. But people are going to say, oh, Devin Williams this. Devin Williams was nails the last month of the season in the playoffs. Like, I'm sorry. Devin Williams, he's going to have a better, when we do our final season grades, he's going to get a much better grade than I think a lot of people would realize from me. I don't know about everyone else. I'm going to give him a solid grade. Anyways, that's in the future. That happens, then it was just downhill. Ended up being 5-2 final score, but that was because of a garbage time run that Jason Dominguez pinch hit in the 9th inning. He ends up getting a double, then Judge hits a ball maybe 130 miles an hour that drives him in. But overall, and we talked about this a little bit, so I know what your answer is going to be. What was the biggest issue for the Yankees this playoff run?
Pitching. I truthfully don't think there's any other answer. Sure, you could say the offense, say what you want, but you only scored 2 runs in an elimination game, but like most of the games you never got a shot. Like the 2 games in Toronto, you never had a chance. You made game 2 close, so credit to you. But
there's also
you never
the
had a chance.
Underbelly of the relievers. And I think the Blue Jays, somehow you only scored 2 runs in a bullpen game. They have an okay. I think they have an okay early of the bullpen. It's the back end of the bullpen that's going to crush you.
Yeah, their bullpen's fine as a unit.
But that's the point that I'm making. You're not going. It's not like you're facing. I'm trying to think of a team that has like the Padres bullpen, where literally every single person in there throws 127 miles an hour and can strike you out. It's not like it was that. So it was kind of, you could say like, oh, they made it close, but that also was pretty garbage timey runs of guys that wouldn't be in there. Obviously, postseason, never going to be garbage time, but guys that probably wouldn't have been in there if it was a 5-run game, nevertheless a 12-run game.
Right. The fact that they were able to use them is probably...
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah. In a game that they're winning. If they're losing, good. But the fact that they're coming in a winning game is an issue.
Right. And I'm sure something that the Blue Jays were very happy about, that they could use those guys instead of anyone else. But back to the answer, like pitching, 100%.
Starters or bullpen?
Oh, we're getting specific. Starters. If we're gonna get specific, starters.
I 100% agree. I just wanted you to say it, just so it sounded better coming from 2 people rather than just one person. Then instead of you just saying yeah, I agree, because I know that's what you're gonna say. It coming from you and then me saying I agree from an outside looking in perspective. But yeah, we were talking about how bad Fried and Rodon were, dude. If you add up the first 3 starts of them and then Heel, so the first 3 games in the ALDS, you got 9 innings pitched.
Not good enough.
No.
That's really all it is.
And
you got...
I want to say it's about 12 runs. You're going to have to fact check me on that, but like 12,
Yeah, I'm looking
13.
at it right now. But in 14 1/3 innings, Yankee starters allowed 17 earned runs,
so
19 runs.
So 15 earned runs.
Yeah. 17.
Well, I'm taking out the 2 for Schlittler.
Oh,
I'm saying I'm just saying
fault.
Heel, Rodon, Fried.
Oh, yes.
Just those 3 guys alone.
Yes. 15 earned runs, 17 runs.
Yeah. And
another thing, which, this is also credit to the Blue Jays, 7 strikeouts.
They had more home runs than strikeouts through the first 3 games. Or first 2 games, but
I mean, you're not going to win like that. That's
Yeah.
simply all it is. Like that's just not how. It's not how you win.
And Fried, I don't know who to be more mad at between Fried and Rodon, because with Fried, it's a thing of you know that you have to win a game in Toronto to win the series, and that was the best spot for you to win that game, and he laid an egg. He just laid an egg, flat up. But then Rodon, it's an elimination game,
Yeah.
and you let your team go down 6-1 in the third inning.
And you're never gonna guess which pitch he threw the most.
Fastball.
Over 40% fastball. Please take a moment.
I will say, part of this is just that the Blue Jays absolutely maul lefties, but still,
For sure.
bad, horrible, every adjective under the sun. And this is why winning the division was so important, because the Blue Jays are, you'd have to fact check me on this, but I believe the best team at home in baseball. There may be a team that has like a couple more wins, but they are the best, one of the best teams in baseball at home, and under 500 on the road. So you just, it's another reason why those games that they just didn't really care about in July and August came back to bite them in the ass. But do you have it?
Yep. Blue Jays were the second best
No.
team at home.
What, Brewers number one?
Phillies.
Phillies, interesting, yeah. How much did that do for them though?
Not much.
Lost the first two games.
Not much.
By the way, a bunch of people in my office are Philly fans. I just want to know
That's
your opinion on
unfortunate.
this. Pretend it's two teams you don't care about. Pretend it's the Mets. And the Mets
Sure.
lost the first two games at home. And
Sure.
then won game 3. Would you rather they lost on the road or get swept at home and lose all 3 games at home? So make it to the game 5, lose all 3
no.
of those Citi Field games.
I'd rather lose on the road.
I
Like,
agree.
don't.
100%.
No way.
I had people
Yeah,
telling me,
absolutely
no, I
not.
want the game 5 just because, like, that way, like, it's in Philly, all that. No.
No.
To have home field advantage and lose all 3 home games and to see another
Yeah.
team celebrate on your field, I'd kill
How's that
myself.
like?
Dude,
Yeah.
this is where Yankee fans are. 2022, lost at home. 2024, lost at home. 2025, lost at home.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of those games. And I was debating going to the game yesterday, depending on the price. Thank you, God, I didn't. It's one thing to get eliminated in the playoffs, but to lose 3 years in a row, making multiple errors in elimination games to get knocked out at home, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. Say that you carry the momentum in and you win the game today and then you lose in Toronto because Kevin Gausman is one of the best pitchers in baseball when he has that extra day of rest, and Blue Jays at Rogers Center, Fried has an okay start. Whatever. I'd still be pissed off. I'd be slightly less pissed off. But to lose at home for the 3rd time in a row after Aaron Judge had one of the...
Finally showed up.
I think that's too harsh, but that's...
In his postseason career, not this series specifically.
Harsh.
I don't.
I still
will
think
continue to rag
I could
on
point
it.
to so many different moments he's had, though.
Sure. Where's that got him?
It's also a thing of, you look at every year, most of the time he's had big moments, everyone else around him has failed, especially when he has those big moments. He had that massive home run off Emmanuel Clase, bullpen blew it, they got walked off.
Yeah. Nope, fair.
There's so many the game
Still had a 114 WRC plus that entire postseason.
last year's
He's got to be better.
No, last year is a different story. Last year is a different story. But I'm just saying in general. There's so many times where he has these big moments. Game 2 in Houston, I want to say it was 2019, where he had that massive home run off Justin Verlander. It looked like, holy shit, the Yankees are about to take the first 2 games in Houston. Adam Ottavino gives up that bomb of a home run to Carlos Correa.
Still, 2019 109 WRC plus.
I know.
He's gotta be better. Like, yes, he can have moments. Yes, he can contribute. Overall, the overall body of work needs to be better.
Except for this year. You
Except
cannot
for this year.
because even before the home, say that Aaron Judge walks or gets a single in that moment in the home run, I
Yeah.
still think it would be too harsh to say that he doesn't show up in the big moments. Because even Derek Jeter and A-Rod were talking about it, and they were saying, "What do you expect him to do?" Talking about this year. What do you?
Yeah.
He can only do what's given to him by the pitchers.
Sure. But I just go back to the Kevin Gausman at bat.
I
That was
agree. That
such
was
a
bad.
crucial
That was
at bat.
bad. I agree.
If he gets a sac fly, we might be talking differently. Maybe. But to bases loaded, no outs, and to not even put the ball in play, that was such a crucial at bat. That I'm not gonna say he had a bad postseason because he had a good postseason, but this is the only reason why I say he didn't have a great postseason. Because that one at bat was so fundamentally crucial, and he didn't come through.
I think that at bat more so tells the story of the Yankees postseason. Of if Aaron Judge did not come through in every single literal at bat, no one was going to, and that is a
Okay.
much bigger issue because you
Okay.
had
I
Bellinger.
can see. Okay.
Bellinger walked. Okay, cool. I'm not going to get on Bellinger for that. You walked, you drove in a run, you didn't make an out, did your job, pass the baton.
Yeah.
Ben Rice looks like he's never swung a baseball bat in that at bat against Gausman. Giancarlo Stanton looks like fucking a fetus trying to swing the bat there.
First postseason Stan did not show up.
No, I think this is first postseason Stan that did show up.
I guess
2018. This was 2018 Stan in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not the other postseasons. So
Fair.
he was a nothing burger. That even if Aaron Judge hit 500 and didn't come through with that at bat, I still would say again, how are you going to blame Aaron Judge for this postseason? Because I know so many people that were blaming Aaron Judge for this postseason before
You
that.
cannot blame him for this postseason, but I still think you can get on him because the Gausman at bat.
I mean, yes and no. He had
Such a crucial at bat.
He had a 1300 OPS.
Yes, but in the biggest
Where is he?
moment, outside of that game, what was that, 4? No, game 3 home run, in the biggest moment, he did not even put the ball in play.
You could say that, but it's also baseball in the sense of it is literally impossible to come through in every single at-bat. You are going to get fooled. And I agree, it was a bad at-bat. Giancarlo Stanton, 536 OPS in the postseason. Austin Wells, 488. Trent Grisham, your leadoff hitter, hitting in front of Aaron Judge, 426. Got on base, 219. His on base was higher than his slugging for a guy that hit 34 home runs in the regular season.
I get it.
Lou Gehrig with ALS had a better OPS.
I said like 3 Yankees, I think.
Yes.
It was like Volpe, Grisham, and someone else.
I think Wells was a tick better.
Yeah. I get it, and I understand it. But he just needs to. I don't know.
Anthony Volpe struck out in 11 of 15 at-bats.
He fucking sucks. What do you expect?
I agree. That's the point I'm making. That there were so many times where Anthony Volpe should not have been playing. It should have been Caballero. It should have been a thing of Paul Goldschmidt probably should have got more run in the postseason over Ben Rice because in the limited at-bats, Paul Goldschmidt was great. About 1,000 OPS. It's a lot of things where if it was not Aaron Judge, nothing was happening. Jazz had the home run, but a 598 OPS from a guy that went 30-30. It talked about how he wants all of the smoke. No, you don't!
You're not ready for it. Color be shocked. Jazz talked too much and couldn't back it up.
Jazz had 2 moments that were awesome. But this postseason sucked for him. He had that where he scored on a single from first base, You
Mm-hmm.
had, which won them the game in game 2 with a wild card, and then you obviously had that big home run off of Louis Varland. But oh my god, dude, what a shitty postseason. I think the thing that annoyed me the most from Jazz is he would get on base and just stand there. Just stand there at first. Wasn't even the Yankees did not try to steal whatsoever in the playoffs. One of the biggest sneaky things going into the playoffs is how the Yankees started to run a lot more, and they were very successful in that. I forget who was hitting. I think it was either Bellinger or someone else behind Judge. But Judge was on first base. It was a 3-2 count. Judge stole second. He would have been in there by a mile. Doesn't count. I think that would have led the team in stolen bases. Trent Grisham had a stolen base. Aaron Judge would have been tied for the most stolen. Would have had half of the Yankees stolen bases in the playoffs and he was there by a mile. He would have been safe by a mile if it wasn't ball 4. If that was, call it strike 3 because there was one out, Aaron Judge has half your stolen bases in the playoffs. Trent Grisham would have had the other one. That is despicable. That is bad. When part of the reason that got you there, especially that late surge, was because you were taking the extra base. You were stealing. You're doing a lot more stuff. And I see a lot of people saying that the Yankees don't make contact, the home run or bust, da-da-da-da-da-da. There is an element of truth to that. There is a grain of truth to that argument. You know what else is an argument? He got outslugged by the Blue Jays. Your pitchers didn't pitch deep. The offense could have been better. Your pitchers could have been not dog shit. I don't see how there's an argument that this series is on the offense.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I don't. I mean, I will say game 4, though, a bullpen game, you score 2 runs. Really?
Yeah, that one's
That's
short.
bad. That's bad. You've seen all the bullpen guys for a majority. You've seen them all in game 1, game 2, especially in game 2. You saw a lot of them. Game 3, you saw a good amount of them because I think Bieber pitched 3 innings. He definitely didn't get out of the 4th. So you saw all their fucking bullpen guys, and you did that? And it's just so frustrating to me because you had so many guys that were awesome in the regular season that just blew chunks in the postseason. You had Trent Grisham, 426 OPS. Horrible, bad. He had, let's see, he had 2 doubles, no home runs. You had Cody Bellinger, who, where is it? 651 OPS with 1 home run, 2 extra base hits, 4 RBI. I think 2 or 3 of them were in kind of like that garbage timey-ish.
Garbage timing. Yeah.
So I will say that. But also, Cody Bellinger was probably playing hurt. So,
I mean, also low key, I'm looking at it now. Cody Bellinger is just not a playoff performer.
oh, he's not. No.
No, yeah, I haven't looked at it up until this moment.
No, he's
but
not.
wow,
No.
yeah,
He
that's a shame.
was 1, playing hurt, and 2, how many runs did he save in the outfield?
Yeah.
It felt like every game he was saving at least 1 or 2 runs. So I'm willing to live with a 651 OPS if you have 3 extra base hits and you're not a liability at the plate. Because look, he had, what is that? He had the second most at bats on the team, and he struck out 5 times. Which you look at everyone else that had a significant amount of at bats. Jazz struck out 5 times and 6 less at bats. Anthony Volpe struck out 11 more times and 2 less at bats. Giancarlo Stanton struck out 1 more time and 2 less at bats. Austin Wells 1 more time, 6 less at bats. Trent Grisham 5 more times and 1 less at bat than Grisham. Negligible with Judge, same amount of strikeouts, and Judge having 2 more at bats. I don't really care about that. Ben Rice 18 at bats, 8 strikeouts. So it's a thing of, at least with Cody Bellinger, when he was making outs, at least he's putting the ball in play, he's driving in a couple of runs. He's not being good, but he's at least being productive. So
and the flip side of that is, look at the Blue Jays. They got production from their,
you can
I'll
live,
call like role players, I guess.
You can live with Cody Bellinger doing this if other guys played like how we've seen them play in the postseason. If
Jazz showed up.
I was going to say, if Giancarlo Stanton played how maybe let's call it in between what he did this year and in between last year, and Anthony Volpe played kind of how we saw the first couple games and how he's been in his postseason career. If he had done that and then call it you play, because even you want to know what a very sneakily good postseason?
Hmm.
Ryan McMahon.
Yes.
He had a
Yes. Give him his
very
flowers. Go ahead.
solid postseason. Because how many times did he walk?
First ever postseason.
First ever
Obviously.
postseason, 833 OPS. In 15 plate appearances, only struck out 2 times. I know, like, strikeouts, say what you
That's
want about
huge.
them.
For
For
him.
him, that is awesome.
Yeah.
You want to talk about saving fucking runs? It felt like every inning Ryan McMahon was twisting himself in this weird way and making the best play I've seen in my entire life. Especially when Cam Schlittler's starting. I don't know what Cam Schlittler, how good of a guy he is off the field, but apparently Ryan McMahon thinks he's Jesus because he made 2 of the best plays I've ever seen in Cam Schlittler starts. So, all the flowers in the world to Ryan McMahon. Because I think you even said we were talking like a group chat, and I said, like, low key, I'm excited for Camilo Duvall next year. Just because he's made change, stuff like that. And then you said, oh, but you're also excited for Ryan McMahon next year?
Yeah, full year of
Full
Ryan
year of Ryan
McMahon.
McMahon. Sorry about the cut in and cut out, technical difficulties. But yes, I do want to see another year of Ryan McMahon because at the very least, he is a vacuum at third base. And I'm always very curious to see how hitters that leave Colorado look when they have a full offseason to adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Definitely.
And I even saw like I think it was Ryan Garcia make up like an interesting point that I didn't see anyone else talk about when they traded for Ryan McMahon. And I'm curious what his bat looks like with actually having hitting development not from the Rockies.
Yeah, I think that's extremely fair to say.
So that's
'Cause
something
the
like I
Rockies
never thought about, but
yeah.
it's like he had maybe the worst hitting development, like bottom 5 worst hitting development he could ever have, just
I mean, he
coaching
was quite
wise.
possibly in the worst organization
Yeah.
in the sport, like
Yes.
flat out.
Yeah. So how does he look when he's actually with a say what you want about the Yankees approach, but it manufactures runs and it gets runs across. And I think he's a guy that has a very good profile for Yankee Stadium. And that's more of an offseason talk. But I love Ryan McMahon. I love what he's done. And just trying to look at a lot of the other guys to see who else I kind of need to rag on.
Anthony Volpe.
Oh, I thought I ragged on him, but I can rag on him more. 11 for 15
I think so.
was
Yeah.
bad. I saw someone say that you could pinpoint exactly where the cortisone wore off. And how long is it labrum surgery? Like how long is the recovery?
Recovery? Oof. I don't know, but
Like
we will ask
9
Google.
months? 10 months?
Google says, "Fuck you, AI overview."
Yeah, just ignore that. I feel like AI overview tries to be wrong, but
it usually is. I'm gonna have to click into a
actual article
website.
and then
Yep. Uh-huh.
okay, we could do it.
12 plus weeks. For optimal cover plan to be it's physical therapy.
Let's call
4
it
plus months. 4 plus months from the date of surgery.
Okay. Damn.
Thank you, Ortho Virginia.
That's actually a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was like closer to 8 months, but anyways, I don't see how he doesn't get surgery on his labrum. I don't, frankly, just because it was a thing of they were saying, "Oh, we think it was a past injury." Really? He looked like you could see a very marketable difference before and after that play. So, granted, you could say past injury, all that, whatever, but if he re-aggravated it making a baseball play and he's re-aggravated it multiple times to the point if he literally is not a usable.
I was gonna say Trevor Story, because we talked about it when it first happened. Trevor Story had the exact same injury.
Yeah.
Had surgery and missed basically 5 months.
Okay.
So call it 4 to 6 months.
Okay. But you can literally it literally was to a point of if once that cortisone shot wore off that he's unplayable I don't see how he doesn't get the surgery. And frankly, I think it's good for everyone if he does. Because if they do, that's going to force them to get some sort of competition. And I said this in a group chat. I think the best thing right now for Anthony Volpe is to say, your job is not locked in. You have to fight for your spot. And then one of two things will happen. Anthony Volpe will realize, oh shit, I gotta start doing it. Everyone talks because they're, when like they do like they ask the team the questions like who's the most whatever yada 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 all that.
Yeah.
Every single guy said Anthony Volpe. If you truly are this competitor that everyone thinks that you are, then you will be better for it. You just will be. Or he's not that guy and he fizzles out. Yeah. It's at the point where you have to tell him, kind of like what the Mets did, where they said, like, this is officially your last chance, but it kind of is, Brett Beatty. Either you take it or goodbye. That's what they have to do with Anthony Volpe. And I still think that you can get something there, but you can't. I truly think the coddling hurt him more than it helped him.
Absolutely. I think I said this.
You definitely did say this kind of before.
Rookie year.
Yeah.
It's either his rookie year or sophomore year. But the Yankees backed themselves in a corner with the fact that they were just, Anthony Volpe's our shortstop. Anthony Volpe's our guy. He'll figure it out. He'll get it done. Blah, blah, blah. That if they do anything that undermines Volpe, it's a bad look on them.
But honestly, this is another reason.
My light's going off. I'm sorry. I think my dad's playing with my light.
Such a scuffed episode. Whatever.
Sorry.
But that's another reason for him to get the surgery because you getting out. You getting out saying we just want to have insurance just in case he doesn't come back the same.
Just wake him up in the middle of the night, take him to an undisclosed location, and give him the surgery.
Dude, I'm thinking of the meme. I think it's from like a Scared Straight video where it's like the kids sleeping in like the prison cell, and there's like, get up, wake up. They're shining the lights in his face. That you have to do to him.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I think
make Austin Wells' mom make the chicken parm, put some sleeping pills or whatever in the chicken parm, and then tell Austin Wells, oh no, eat this plate, and then just take Volpe, and then Volpe wakes up on the fucking table, on the surgery table. But
I would be a little concerned if he woke up on the surgery table. I would hope he would wake up afterwards.
No, if you really want to repent for your sins, you don't get anesthesia. You don't get
if you really want to scare him, make him wake up in the middle of the surgery.
No, the beginning of the surgery. So he knows he has to deal with it, and he has to sit through the entire thing with no painkillers. I'm joking.
Tells me that's not happening.
I'm very clearly making a joke of a situation. But speaking of surgery, when do you think it gets announced that Aaron Judge has to get surgery?
Well, I don't know. Aaron Judge seems very non-committal about getting surgery.
That's an issue.
Yeah, I agree.
If Aaron Judge said, I am not getting surgery, I would put it at a 50-50 chance that he gets surgery. Aaron Judge not saying he's getting surgery makes me think that is all but a foregone conclusion, and they just don't want to announce it the day. Like, I truly think Aaron Judge could get I think it is somewhat likely that the first we hear about Aaron Judge getting surgery is a tweet by the Yankees PR department on Twitter.
Yeah, I think if Brian Cashman doesn't say it at like the end of the year, like press conference they do, then I'm gonna start like sounding the alarms.
Yeah.
But I'll give Cashman the benefit of the doubt that he'll announce it then, because usually that's what you do. That's protocol, whatever.
And also, Aaron Judge should not be thinking about that at that point.
Sure.
So I'm going to give Aaron Judge the benefit of the doubt, too. Where it's like, I don't want him thinking, oh my God, this is my last at-bat before I get surgery. I got to do something.
Right.
Don't want him thinking that way.
Yeah. You don't want him to blow up.
Yeah. So, and you also don't want Aaron Judge, every time he throws a ball, to think, oh my God, if I throw this slightly wrong, I'm getting surgery. Ooh, right. Because then he's going to overcompensate and he's going to fuck up his shoulder or something. Yeah. And I will say he did have a couple of throws in the postseason that I know at least one was clocked at 90 miles an hour.
There you go. So hopefully he's feeling better.
Maybe he dodged a bullet, but those were kind of the two big things with the offense. Another thing too is I think the last talking point on this offense is it is going to look very different than last year.
And I think it should.
I think it should. I think because you have a lot of guys that are either free agents, club options, team options, whatever it may be. You got Trent Grisham. You were losing, what is that? About 63 home runs in your outfield in free agency alone in Trent Grisham and Cody Bellinger. Austin Slater and Ahmed Rosario, both free agents. So you're losing two depth guys and then two very important guys for you. Without looking at it, in just very blanket statement, what do you think the Yankees' plan is for the offseason to address the outfield? Because you could go so many different ways with it. I could think of 3 or 4 different ways you could go right now. And that's not even including going stopgap guys.
I think it's Kyle Tucker. That's it. Dominguez is your center fielder. Kyle Tucker plays a corner. There you go.
I will be I don't want to say disappointed. I'll be like, if they bring back Bellinger and that's it, I'll be like, all right.
I think fine. Bellinger will be a backup to Tucker.
Yeah, I agree.
And how he was to Soto.
I think that you need to go all in on Kyle Tucker. And I'll get into it more. I'll get into my reasoning more why. But on a very surface level, and I kind of alluded to this in text, very surface level argument, a lot of people said like, oh, Kyle Tucker's coming off his worst year, da-da-da.
Exactly.
Not even that. Cody Bellinger is proof that Kyle Tucker will work.
Right.
We literally said all these same things about Cody Bellinger, and from me just briefly looking at the numbers, every argument that I made for Cody Bellinger to be a Yankee that worked out well, should have had 30 home runs, capped out at 29, but for argument's sake, had a 30 home run season. Those same arguments all apply to Kyle Tucker, but to a greater extent because Kyle Tucker is a better player right now than Cody Bellinger was.
I was just going to say that. You get all of that on top of the fact that Kyle Tucker is miles better than Cody Bellinger.
At that point in time. I think both in their primes...
And he will actually hit on the road.
Yes. Both in their primes, I think it's a different argument. But right now, it's not even a debate who the better player is. And you have to go all in for Kyle Tucker. You just frankly do. Because, and you kind of alluded to it too in Queens when we talked about it the other day. The outside of that, it's not really that good. What are you going to do? Put Kyle Schwarber in left field?
He's not living Philly. But, I mean, the free agency is not a great landscape.
No. And I don't really think there's been any trade guys either.
Lubob is like for center field. That's like the one that comes to my mind instantly. Brenton Doyle, if the Rockies is willing to listen.
But that's the point.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the point. So, that it's like.
And I also mentioned this in the group chat the other day. The Cubs apparently are not going to re-sign Tucker.
No interest.
I think Jesse Rogers.
Yeah.
On ESPN, basically.
Jeff Passan retweets him all the time, so he is.
Yeah.
To me, he is very not as credible as Passan, obviously, but he's like.
He's Robin to Batman.
Yes, perfect. I'd say he's more like a. Never mind.
He's a Nightwing to Batman.
I was gonna say a Nightwing in the sense of his own independent thing, but still works with Batman. But
yes, but where's I go with this? Yeah, basically the Cubs are not going to re-sign Tucker. So if the Cubs are not going to re-sign Tucker, so there goes that. The Mets obviously aren't going to go after Tucker.
I can't see that.
I really doubt the Dodgers are, but who knows? Who the fuck is going to sign Kyle Tucker?
Astros don't believe in paying. What is it? More than 6 years? They don't believe in that. I forget what the number is, but there's a number that I think it's over 5 years. They just do not believe in giving out those contracts. Yeah. So
and again after
Toronto.
Maybe because they made such a big push for Soto. I could see that.
Giants?
That's fair. They just added a bunch of Devers.
That's what I mean.
Money.
Like, just because they're trying to do like an infinite money glitch and they're spending a lot of money that they just don't have. The Padres? Because AJ Preller is literally every second playing for his job?
Yeah, but like
But
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what their money is. But yes, this is the
this
point.
is the point that we're literally outside of the Blue Jays, we're really stretching it to who else could be an option. The
I
Red
also
Sox were
think there's a.
apparently had a $700 million offer on for Soto, but you have Roman Anthony, you have a lot of young
Their
guys.
outfield is crowded. They
That's what I
can't.
mean. That's not
They
gonna
simply can't.
happen. I'm really trying to look at the Soto bidders and go from there. If that
It was
makes any sense.
Toronto,
Toronto,
both New Yorks, Boston. The
I think
Dodgers were in for a minute.
weren't the Rays in for a minute too, or something like
I don't
as
know.
like
The
a
Rays were
throw
in for
in.
Freeman.
I don't know.
I think. I don't know.
Was it the Phillies or Braves that was in for the NL?
Phillies. But
Phillies.
that could have been Boris.
Well, that's I
Or
don't.
unless you know what? Good point.
Is
Unless the
Castellanos and
Phillies don't,
Schwarber
they're
both?
probably going to trade Castellanos because everybody hates him. What if they let Schwarber walk and push for Tucker?
It could.
I would hate that, but
I
that
would
is
too.
a non-0% chance of happening.
That could happen.
But also, I don't want to get too much because this is a
Yeah.
lot of like free agency talk. The last thing I'll say about this, there's a non-0% chance you can get Tucker on a shorter term deal
Yes.
because of what the past 2 years have looked like for him.
Yes. I may disagree with that in the sense of I don't think
There's
he
a
should.
chance.
No, I'm saying I don't think he should. But again, that's
But if you have to commit, I don't know, 4 years, call it, with an opt out after the first one instead
yes.
of
Don't even tell me the
10,
money. Don't
11
even tell me the
years.
money. You don't
Exactly.
even tell me that.
That's the only reason I'm saying.
But anyways, that for the most part the rotation's set. I
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's a good chance they don't sign a single starter.
I would disagree. I think because I know you're gonna have Fried, Rodon, Cole's coming back,
Take
and
out Cole. No, take
Schlittler.
out Cole. Take out Cole. Just
Take out Cole.
for the
Sure.
argument's sake.
Schlittler is definitely a part of it.
Yes.
And then you have Heel and Warren. I would rather sign somebody than put Heel or Warren right back into the rotation. I also think they need to make a decision on Heel and or Warren if they see them as a long-term fit.
I agree.
Therefore, opening up a spot for the rotation.
Let me just look at this right now. So the Yankees have, I would definitely say their strength in the farm system is their top end starting pitching. I don't think that's really that much of an argument, but you have Carlos LaGrange, who is your number 2 prospect. ETA is this year. Was finished the year last year in Double A. There could be a chance that he comes up. He's a massive guy, throws fucking insanely hard. I could see them seeing like, all right, Cam Schlittler, we saw what he did. Maybe we have something like that. Maybe they fast track him, or they at least use him as an argument to not sign a guy.
Yeah.
Because I think they're gonna see what they did with Marcus Stroman and see we don't want to sign one of those mid guys. If anything, we're either going for a high end guy or a guy in a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Yeah, I think it's either you're signing Dylan Cease or you're gonna try to grab Zach Gallen on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but it's just I don't because you also have I'm trying to look
It's
at
also
just
not a lot of
other
good
guys too.
starting pitching.
Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, they have him as an ETA 2027. He did finish the year in AAA. Looked, I think
He's a call away.
everyone raved about him. That you have, oh my God, what is his face? Chase Hampton coming back from Tommy John surgery. You have, they know Clark Schmidt is projected to be back in June, July. They know Garrett Cole is going to, and I was just saying, take Garrett Cole out so you saw the 5, and then you add all this stuff. They know Garrett Cole is going to come back in April, May, and even then, that may even be on the longer side of things. There's a not. I don't think it happens, but there's a non-zero chance that Garrett Cole is on the opening day roster. There's a non-zero chance that happens.
Mhm.
I think that there is a better chance he is on the opening day roster than gets activated towards the end of May.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got surgery in March?
Early March, but he also got the internal brace.
Right, which
so it's a
shortens the timeline.
significantly shorter time.
Right.
And so he'll be back soon, or he'll be back relatively early in the year. So I really don't think they're going to do much with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much to do.
And I kind of agree with it. So
I mean, yeah,
that,
you had one of the best rotation areas in baseball. Fried is excellent in the regular season. Rodon has taken another step forward. Schlittler is fantastic.
God.
And I think, yeah, Heel and Warren are just like the two kind of question
And
marks. Like,
I really do believe you give Luis Heel a full kind of, if he can be healthy going into the year, I feel so good about Luis Heel. Because I feel like he just
yeah,
tried to mess with
especially
stuff, come back from injury, and
as a 4-5 starter instead of
yeah,
the three. I think you love that. But there are some concerns with the way he came back. He didn't strike out a lot of guys. He walked too many guys. His he's cutting his fastball a lot more, which I didn't notice until I'm looking at it now.
yeah,
But yeah, and I think he just also needs another pitch. But
I,
we've kind of talked about that ad nauseum already
yeah,
in the past. So Heel is more of a project. Warren, I'm more willing to kind of slot him as like the number 5.
yeah, and which I think is fair.
Yeah,
So then you have the bullpen, which I'm not really worried about
yeah, those
because
built themselves.
you're losing Weaver, but I truly think looking back on it now, they rushed him back from that hamstring injury because it's been
Likely.
known that any core injuries are known to nag, they're known to bother, especially something like a hamstring when you're trying to pitch and you can't trust your legs, you're going to be overcompensating, you're not going to be able to pitch as well. I truly think that hurt him a lot more than we realize. And he apparently wants to try and be a starter like Clay Holmes. Loved you, Luke Weaver. I hope that you get paid somewhere.
Yeah.
Then Devin Williams. I would not hate bringing him back on a 1 year deal.
That didn't pick up unless that was the point.
I would not hate bringing him back on a 1 year deal. Um, which may sound crazy, but
Yeah.
I would not hate a 1 year, $10 million deal for Devin Williams if that's the
Are
route
you
he goes.
offering him
Not multi
the
years. Not multi years.
qualifying offer?
No, too much.
Okay.
That's
Fair.
too
I think
much.
it's supposed to be like 22 million.
Yeah, maybe I would go 15. But that's just if like the market is so dead, there's no one else. I'd go probably to 15.
Yeah, I mean,
22 is
if Diaz for whatever reason does not opt out, there's not a ton. Oh my God, Fangraphs has the free agent tracker up. There's not a ton of relief pitchers, which I can look at super quick now
because
because
while you're doing that too,
Fangraphs is amazing.
the people also got to remember Jake Bird trade for him. I think that he's really going to benefit from kind of a season just in the minors from the Yankees and really like going into like the Matt Blake school of thought. I think he'll be really good. We obviously saw what David Bednar was. He's awesome. Camilo Doval really seems to have unlocked something there. So you realistically have three really good guys that you trust in the bullpen. And you also have Tim Hill, I think, has a $3 million club option. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
maybe in
easy
a
money. Yeah,
millisecond. I saw people shitting on Tim Hill. Why? He has a job and he is damn good at his job. He can even sometimes get out righties depending on the righty, but that's not why you have him for. But what are you gonna say?
if we're talking like leverage guys, Michael Kopech's a free agent. Ryan Helsley, which we know how that ended up, so I don't know how people are going to view him. Raisel Iglesias is a free agent. Emilio Pagan, Kyle Finnegan, Brad Keller, and it's going to be Devin Williams and maybe Edwin Diaz.
And that is only high leverage guys. How
Yes,
many of
that's
those
high leverage
guys
guys.
go from low leverage guys to then they go to another team and they unlock something and then they become an elite?
Right. Yeah.
So the point
There's a
that I'm
ton.
making is I am not concerned about the bullpen. The Yankees seem to do this every year where they figure it out. Because I don't know if you guys noticed this, the bullpen was not the fucking problem in the postseason. It was not.
Yeah.
So, well, outside of Luke Weaver, the bullpen was not the issue.
Yeah.
Let me say
Yes.
that. So, and I don't think he's going to be. I would be very shocked if Luke Weaver's on this team next year. But that was the Yankee season. You had a lot of highs, a lot of lows. I do think there is something wrong with this team. And I think that's a much bigger discussion, but I didn't realize how long we've been talking for, so I'm not going
Yeah,
to
we've been
kind of
talking for a while.
get into it, but I do think there is some sort of fundamental disconnect in a lot of things because there just seems like there's times where they don't know what they're doing. I
Mm.
think that Trey Savage is the perfect example of this. He is disgusting. I am not taking anything away from him. I am not. He threw the ball in the zone less than 40% of the time against the Yankees, and he had 11 strikeouts in less than 6 innings. That just comes from the Yankees just swinging out of their shoes nonstop, 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 nonstop. And I get it. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh, they didn't have the tragic pitching machine. They didn't do it. So what they have before?
Yeah.
That's like the whole thing where, like, with, where it's like something was invented in like 1 year, and everyone's like, what people used to do the year before.
Oh, what they used to do before.
And it's just like completely, it's like, no, you still knew how to do that stuff before. You still had scouting reports. You still had that.
Regular film.
Film. And so, and also, say all that stuff fails and you're like, holy shit, this guy's nasty. You had multiple times through the order to see him.
Yeah.
So to me, it just feels like sometimes there's too many times where they just go into a game without a game plan. Or they'll have a game plan and they'll just throw it out the window. So this is, in my opinion, this is way too talented of a team to have lost in 4 games in the ALDS. To be completely embarrassed in 2 of those games.
Yeah.
I think you can make an argument in 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's a reflection on the coaching. It's a reflection on the organization. And how many times can you keep doing the same thing and expect things to change?
TLDR on this whole conversation, there are, let's call it 6 or 7. Didn't mean to do that.
I hate you.
I did not mean to do it. I'm so sorry. People that I am not mad at for this postseason, and they get a good grade for me. Mm-hmm. That is Aaron Judge, Ryan McMahon, Paul Goldschmidt, because he did very well in the 10 plate appearances he had. He did very damn well. He probably should have played more. Those are the hitters. Cam Schlittler. All the other starters can go fuck themselves. Even you, Will Warren, you may have came in relief, but you suck, donkey. And then, Bednar, Camilo Doval. You know what? Add in Tim Hill there. I would put in Devin Williams there. Because I still think he pitched so well. And even then, yeah, he gave up the 2 runs in that 7th inning. There shouldn't have been runners on in the first place. And the second place, that was a good fucking pitch. I don't know how much more I could say that.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Jazz home run that Louis Varland gave. Are you really going to be mad at Louis Varland for giving up that home run to Aaron Judge?
Right.
Like that's one of those things of that was just Aaron Judge being one of the best hitters we've seen. Yeah. And obviously I'm not saying Nathan Lukes is that, but that was just a good fucking hit. Honestly, like that was a beautiful pitch.
Cat, move on.
He looked like he really calmed down, and he also said like I feel like I got accepted by New York. At the end, he said that it felt really good for everyone cheering for him. I would love to have Devin Williams back. Whole nother argument, but outside of those 7, 8 guys, y'all need to look in the fucking mirror. Well, Jason Dominguez, you're Pookie. You could add him in there.
You didn't do it. You didn't do anything wrong.
That's another thing.
And your 1 at bat, you did great.
That's another thing. Why on God's green earth was he on the bench the entire time?
Yeah.
At one point, you got to be like, all right, Trent Grisham, you're not fucking cutting it.
Right. I mean, I said it after game 2. Like, hey, you just got completely dog walked in Toronto. Maybe you try changing things up, and they didn't, at all. The only change they made was
Goldschmidt started in game 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only change they made. Like, no adjustments.
No.
To your point.
So outside of those guys, like the thing is, this team is gonna have a lot of roster turnover because I completely forgot to mention Paul Goldschmidt too, in that. Yeah. So you're most likely gonna have new everyday starters at 1, 2, 3 positions almost guaranteed, and then maybe shortstop.
You don't think Ben Rice is your starting first baseman?
Well, I was considering Goldie as the original starting first baseman.
I guess. Okay. I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, because he kind of overtook it.
Okay. So he overtook it at the end, but like for the most part, it was Paul Goldschmidt.
Yep.
So they're realistically, this team will probably look very different. by the time we're sitting here after a World Series next year.
Yeah.
So you like what I did there? But that's all I had. We will be getting into our deep dives on the season and kind of giving grades on guys because all I'm saying is Aaron Judge saved his grade in the last couple of games. But yeah, that's all I had. Yeah, didn't have anything else.
Last thing I'm gonna ask you: Aaron Boone back next year?
Do I want him or will he be?
Will he be?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you also saw what he said, right?
No, I know he's under contract.
Yeah. So I think he has one more year than a club option for the
Yeah.
year after that. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to decline the club option. I think that's just how it's going to go. But because also I believe it was Torrey and Girardi both got 10 years. That
I
would
did see that as
take
well.
him to 10 years.
Right.
So
But yeah. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. As always, remember to follow all our social media accounts at Triboro Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. With the season over, we're gonna have a lot more off-season stuff. So, signings, trades, things like that are gonna be all over there. Instant reactions, stuff like that, all of our social media. Be sure to follow us there. Thank you guys so much for following us during this entire season, regular season to postseason. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you'll stick around for our off-season stuff. That's probably some of the more fun stuff that we do because there's so much to talk
more
about and
creative.
more creative things to talk about. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe, leave us a like. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know you're enjoying the show. Hope you stick around. But thank you guys, and we'll see you next time for our first off-season episode. See you then.